Who are you running from? The question was simple, but one asked of every interplanetary species upon first contact. Every species has its shadow, after all. A monster in the dark from days long gone. Evolution required it. Intelligence was a tool developed to deal with dark forests. Intelligence emerged in symbiosis with violence, necessary for survival. It was iron logic that civilization emerged from the bloody annals of a prey-predator relationship. As a peaceful species learned to use the world around them, their hunters would forever chase their tails. Technological progression was the only way to escape the horror. Every interstellar species was running from something. The Lagite had the Gajari. The former is a race of small, skittish things. They learn to climb and crawl, escaping the sharp claws of the Gajari, who had developed long snouts with minor appendages, enabling them to manipulate the world around them. The Lagite has stumbled across the galactic community when terraforming a world, one without their hunters. The Mannequin had the Fairy, a race of large grazers hunted by smaller packs of rabid four-legged sniffers. Long Necks has spent millennia angling towards the stars, eventually fleeing into the warm embrace of the galactic community. The Glicken had the Berivian, the Klee had the Quai, the Frike had the Driat. On and on it went. And when a species would overcome their hunters, escaping the atmosphere and finding peace in the stars, the galactic community was there to greet them with open arms. After all, everyone was fleeing from something. "So, who are you running from?" asked the Lagite delegate. The tapping of miniature feet translated into rough human script. "I'm not sure I understand," came the response. This was normal. The only thing every galactic species had in common were those ancestral enemies. Mistranslations in first contact were to be expected. No other experience was so universal. A shared lexicon was constructed on shared experiences. Translation was always rough, especially for the first few decades of integration within the galactic community. "Of course," the Lagite delegate said, pulling a wire to communicate placation. Their species use strings to send vibrations as a common form of communication. "What we mean to ask is, who haunts you?" "Haunt? Like some sort of ghost?" the human delegate asked. The Lagite felt the hesitation through the taut wire of the translator. The human wasn't understanding the question. Clarification was required. "Every species develops to escape. This has been observed. Homos are filled with predators. Technologies need to be developed in order to counter the threat. In evolutionary terms, intelligent life can only emerge as a consequence of violence. Every species that has made contact with the galactic community has been running from something. So, who is your monster in the dark? Who haunts your species?" The human delegate said, though the translator failed to pick up on any semantic meaning. A long moment passed. The delegate put down the translator for a moment before tapping an appendage on their frame. Eventually, the human delegate's voice picked up, sending wires flying in an explanation. "We don't really have one?" The Lagite paused. That had not been the expected answer. Maybe the human had failed to understand the question. "Explain." "Well?" Its top feature, the one resembling a sort of oval resting on a pillar flanked by two sides, how odd, moved in a way not yet observed. The Lagite delegate reflected on this. Maybe vocal noise was not their preferred method of communication? "We've been at the top of our food chain for quite a while now. We didn't really need error, word, lions, unknown to push us into inventing guns, you know. We mostly fought between ourselves." "Impossible," the Lagite replied, turning in skepticism to the translator. "Species at the top of their respective food chains stop development. Technological innovation stalls. This has been observed. Intelligence becomes innovation through the process of violence from a larger threat. This has been observed. Internal species conflict is only driven by individual mating behavior, so internal conflict cannot drive technology, as divergent groups are too small to contribute intellectually. Every intelligent species has its monsters. Ah, well, I suppose I can see that logic, the delegate said. But it wasn't like that for us. Don't know how else to put it. Explain. Right, yeah, of course. Just one moment. Gotta get permission to know what I can share. You know how it is. The human delegate moved away from the translator, the screen going dark for a few seconds. The legate pondered the strange words. Permission to share information? What evolutionary purpose was there for withholding information? It seemed most illogical. Maybe the translator was not working properly? The screen flickered back on. Okay. Channels of communication with hitherto unknown entities, Form 117B, Clause 4 of the Interplanetary Nations Committee. Legalese, blah blah blah. Just gonna sign here. Right. Yeah, okay. So... The human delegate leaned forward. Use of the body was clearly a tool of communication, the legate concluded, though the meaning of this semantic posture was utterly lost. The translator was only fit to accommodate voice communication on the human end. Humans, I suppose, yeah, we don't really have any ghosts. I mean, sure, there were like tigers and stuff before we developed tools, but otherwise we were kind of alright. The human delegate continued. Most technological developments occur due to wars, though. Internal species conflicts for you. We do, in fact, form, how did you put it? Divergent groups on more factors than just mating behavior. Like, error, word, religion, unknown. Or, error, word, nationality, unknown. Conflicts have traditionally been a major source of innovation, like the Second World War, which helped advance our knowledge of atomic science by decades, not to mention medicine, rockets, computers, planes, and other stuff too. But we aren't complacent either. We like to tinker around with stuff, and not just for survival purposes, but because it could be fun too. Enjoyment from the unknown. That kind of stuff. Explain. What do you need clarification on? Why innovate if not for survival? Effort is wasted. Survival is the only good a species can do for itself. I don't know. I think people like doing more than just surviving. The delegate moved its size up, then down. Maybe it's a human thing? Maybe, the legate delegate pondered. You really have no predator your species is running from? Nah. The legate delegate pondered further. Yet you develop because you fight with yourselves. Well, that's one way it happens, sure. So? The alien delegate pondered further. You mean to say that you are your own monster? Yeah, the delegate said. That's one way of putting it. The only monster humanity knows is itself. So you are running from yourselves? The human's oval moved again. This time, a feature clearly set up for digestion bared shining white teeth. The universal sign for predators. Yeah, you could say that.